Hello, my Starseeds. I hope you can hear me because I have a fan on the other side of this um, little display, and it might be making a little bit of noise here. So I apologize for if there is a lot of noise. I hope you can hear me. Um, I wanted to bring something up to everyone. It's part of knowledge, also. It's kind of important. Especially for those of you that are interested in creating a chart, a birth chart, and so that you can familiarize yourself with some of the wordings that they might use and the elements itself, as well as the seasonal, uh, like the cardinal, fixed, and I keep forgetting mutable. But anyway, I wrote my little notes in here just so that I wouldn't forget. But what I'm covering today is something that, like I said, very important to many of you that might be interested in doing just that, the charts. But so that you can be familiar with both sides of what is involved in a chart, a birth chart, and see what dominates your astrology sign. Okay, so we're covering water, air, fire, and earth. These are the elements, the four elements. And each element has, they call them duplicities. And each element has three signs in each element. Okay, as opposed to the signs, modalities of the signs, which are the signs modalities are cardinal signs, fixed signs, mutable signs. These are seasons. It's referring to the seasons and how it starts and how it ends. Who starts it? Who ends it? We all know Aries starts it. Okay? So we'll discuss that in a little bit so that you can familiarize yourself. And then I'll give you some um, free, what do you call them? Free charts that you can create on your own. So that you can go ahead and do that. So let's start with the fire sign. Okay. Now we'll address this and their traits. Okay. So the fire sign is a difficult sign to contain. So I'm forewarning some of you, if you are getting involved with someone that's has a fire sign, or it's dominated by the fire sign itself, because again, these are very important. Okay, so this type of energy, fire, is that of creation, as well as devotion, confidence, and fierceness. It's a masculine element, and they're normally free spirit. Okay, but remember also that every sign has a polarity. Okay, you have the negatives and you have the positives in each one. And sometimes the positive dominates, other times the negative dominates. Again, depending on this right here. Okay, so the levels of the fire element is you have Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So the levels are this: Aries is the innovator. They're more concerned about the present and future, and not the past. They try to not avoid it, but try not to have a connection with the past. They initiate, and they're also spearheads. Okay, they're considered a cardinal sign. All right. Now Leo is passionate about most of the things that they do. I mean, again, remember polarity. They're passionate most of the time about things that they do, things that they're saying, they're talking about, or what they're doing, okay, as well as loyal. They remind me of that little loyal dog that you have around, hanging around, that always wants attention, because Leos always want attention. They want to be the center of the attention. Okay, so therefore they do just about anything for that attention. All right, but again, there's polarity there. And then you have Sagittarius, which is the more adaptable and flexible sign of all the other fire signs, as well as fiery and courageous. They're often uh, spiritual leaders, and they're a mutual sign, where Leo is a fixed sign, Aries is cardinal, and Sagittarius is a mutual sign. Okay, in the category that I just gave you, which is this one right here. Okay. Now let's go to the water signs. Now, water signs they're healers. They're healers. Period. You know, and their heart is as deep as the ocean, as they say. Very fluid. They're emotional and intuitive. Okay, this is the feminine element. Unlike the fire, which is a masculine element. Now, the thing is that the water signs can be quite psychic, and that's Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. All right, they can be also the up and down on emotions. Okay, sometimes they become emotional over the smallest things. Okay. And that's a fact that, you know, the other signs might think, oh, it's over exaggeration, but no, you're really hurting this person, because their emotions are very, very deep. They're very deep. Okay, and the levels there are, let's say, Cancer. They're focused on the home and family, and they're emotional, yes, and very, very nurturing. They're in the cardinal sign. They're a cardinal sign. Now, the Scorpio, they understand deep desires that others have, and motivations. They're also very intimate, connected. Their thing is intimacy is very important to them. Okay, they're a fixed sign, and like I said, Cancer is a cardinal. Very important for you to know that, because when you look at a chart, you can realize where the dominants come in. Some of you may have read your, let's say, a tropical astrology on yourself, and you look at it and you say, well, wait a minute, I'm not anything like this. It's describing something in general, but I'm not really like this. That's not how I am, or that's not who I am. And it's not, because, again, all other factors are very important in a chart. Wherever it is dominating, that is more your personality, no matter what zodiac sign. That would be your more dominant part of your life. And when you start reading into that and going in it, then this is when you'll realize that, okay, now I have to check. This is why they tell you to check. Often, I'm sure many of you have heard it, to check your rising sign and moon, because the sun and the moon both have a huge impact on an individual's life, on a human life. So keep that in mind. So now let's go to Pisces. Now, Pisces understands on the spiritual side as well as the universal level, has a high universal level, and is especially compassionate and impressionable. Okay, a lot of people like to take advantage of the Pisces. All right, because you know, a Pisces approaches with how should I say it, very genuine, and without an intention, a bad intention to do anything to anyone or whatever, and they do take advantage of the Pisces sign. You know, the Pisces doesn't like the combating kind of situation unless they're backed against the wall. You know, they don't want to be in that combative situation. They try to avoid it as much as possible. As a matter of fact, if they can escape from it, they will. Okay. So anyway, this is Pisces. And Pisces, I just love Pisces. I do. They're very sensitive, and they get hurt very quickly. So um, most of the water signs are like that, when there's just super duper emotion involved in it, and it's deep emotion. It's not just surface emotion, okay, like some other signs have. This is deep emotion. Now let's go to the air element. As I was saying, now we go to the air element. Now air, it indicates changes, trends, also communication, intellectuality, fair-mindedness, this is a masculine element, and the signs that fall under air is Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So now, setting down the levels, Gemini is the most adaptable of the air signs. They're mutable air. And they take on a mental approach to life, and most of the time expertly, like they sort things, repattern things, and distribute ideas. Now Libra is more action oriented of the air signs, and they are excellent at comparing, weighing, and valuing ideas, as well as principles. And they're cardinal air. Aquarius, the steadiest and most stubborn of all three signs. They're really expert at intuitively grasping the university of ideas and principle. And they're a fixed sign. Okay? I mean, this is very fascinating for you to know about these things. Now we're going over to the earth. Now we're going over to the earth element. And earth is referring to reliability. Earth signs, reliability. They're practical and also sensual. These earth signs, they collect and build. They're practical and pragmatic, as well as cautious. They're quite cautious about certain things. They just don't jump into something when somebody says, "Look, this is this deal here. You'll win 10 million." They just won't jump in there. Okay? They think about it. They're very cautious about it, and if they do get into it, they made sure that they checked everything before they went into it. Okay? This is the feminine element. And the signs here are Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Remember, Taurus builds. They're a fixed element. Okay? Virgo labors. They're mutable. And then Capricorn manages. They're cardinal. That is the build. Like if you wanted to build a company or something like that, that would be how it would start working, with the Taurus being the builder, the Virgo being the laborer, and the Capricorn managing whatever needs to be managed throughout. Now these signs are grounded in reality. They face reality as it is. Okay, they're skilled in using resources, and some kind of order helps all earth signs to feel in control and safe. They're quite dependable. But remember, for all signs, the yin and yang, okay? The duality in all signs. All right. This is, like I said, I feel it's very, very interesting to know about it, because in case you wanted to go ahead and create your own chart, or somebody gives you a gift of a chart, Now, let's talk a little bit about the signs modalities, the modalities within the signs, okay? And like I said, you've heard people say, check your sun and moon rising signs, okay? They'll say moon, sun, your rising sign. Okay, because there's a rhythm that mirrors the seasons. So we refer to seasonal signs, not elements. And it begins with the cardinal signs. Then it settles with the fixed signs. And it ends with the mutable signs. If you want more information on this and a lot easier to explain and whatever, you can go to astrostyle.com and you can read there and get more interested in whatever else they have available there of information. Okay. Now, starting with the cardinal signs, we're going to have to pretend, this is all a little fantasy here. Let's pretend that we're putting together a record deal, okay? You and I, or your group and my group, whatever, but we're making a deal, a record deal. Okay, so that you can understand these signs. The cardinal signs would be the stars, or the promoters, or trendsetters who create the act. That is Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn. These seasonal signs will hold 4 instead of 3, like the elements hold only 3 per element. These hold 4 per sign, okay, or per seasonal sign. So this is Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. These are the cardinal signs. Now the fixed signs would be the patient workhorses who produce the album. Okay, and that's Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. All right. And then you have the mutable signs. They would be the editors who take the near finished product and do the final mastering and remixing to perfection. Okay, and it is the most creative of all the signs. And that's Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. This is important to know, because especially, like I said, if you're creating your birth chart, or it's being gifted to you, so that you know, which ones are dominating. Okay, each sign has a yin and yang. Okay, polarity all the way. So, like, whatever dominates is what's going to be. All right, and I wanted to also bring up that there are types of astrology, different types of astrology. Many of you might not know about it. Maybe you do, or if you're looking at it, you're not sure which one it is or whatever it is. But this is a topic that it's great for you to go deeper into if you're interested in knowing how, because every single one of them will tell you something different based on, number one, some of them go according to constellation. Others go according to the moon and the sun. Okay. Etc., etc. They just go through different things, and there's a multitude of them. All right, the few that I'm going to mention here. The first one is tropical or Western astrology, which is based on the zodiac belt. Okay, then you have the Indian Vedic, which is the Hindu based on the sidereal system. This is why some people go back and forth and say, well, is Vedic the same as sidereal? Basically, as far as I'm concerned, from what I see, and it might have one difference, but I don't see any, that they're very, very similar, because Vedic uses the sidereal system. Okay? So they're very, very similar. Then you have the Chinese astrology, which deals with the elements in yin yang. Okay? Then you have what's called the Horary Astrology. This particular astrology deals with and I mean deals with a yes or no, very, very specific. Very specific. It's a direct question that it will answer. Okay? So you have others called Sri Lankan astrology, also the Burmese astrology, and etc., etc. And if you would like to have a free birth chart, a sidereal chart, you can go to cafeastrology.com. And if you want a Vedic chart, you can go to vaultoftheheavens.com and just get yourself free chart, just for yourself or for someone else. And I find this very, very, very fascinating, especially if you guys are interested in wanting to know what's what. I mean, I've got to tell you something that the Vedic, the Vedic, as well as the sidereal, but more like the Vedic, like I said, it's Hindu based. It is used for, and you might not even believe this, but it's the truth. It's used often to find out if you can purchase a car, when you can purchase a car, when and if you can purchase a car, when and if you can sign a contract, when and if you should get married, when and if you should get divorced, when and if you should be starting a course. It gives you those answers in there if and when that is what you were looking for. But many used the Vedic specifically for that. Okay. I mean, I like to use it. I like the Vedic and sidereal. I don't mind using those because they do tell you when it's okay, when it's clear, according to both. According to both. It will tell me when it's clear to sign a contract. When it's okay to sign a contract where there's not going to be any conflict. I did that with one of my leases because I wanted to find out. Everybody was in doubt about everything, and I wanted to find out if I could sign that lease, if it was all right to sign that lease at that time. And it was. Okay? So, and I was happy about that because it was a year lease, and I was happy about that. Now, because I'm trying a little bit of working with my technology here, I'm going to present or preview something here for you guys because it's close to Halloween and everybody does a little something special for the Halloween. So, here we go. And I'm going to, out of this deck, this is the Gypsy Witch. And I like working with these. They're very familiar, very close to the Lenormand. And my Lenormand is my favorite system. I don't care what anyone says. I love Lenormand. Anyway, in this case, what I'll be doing is removing the masculine energy card out and the feminine energy card out. And then, because it will be a wish. And then what I'll be doing is showing you what I call the black mirror. Okay? And what you will be doing is focusing on the black mirror. And then I'm going to have you scrying. Now, scrying is a method of focusing on something. And that something is going to be your question. Now, this is the thing. You cannot have the wrong intention with the question. That's number one. Number two, it is not about anyone except you. You understand? You do not include anyone in there. It's about you. That's it. And the intention must be clear. Not only clear, but something that's not going to be doing damage to anyone else or hurting anyone else. Okay? So scrying is actually focusing you on your question, but you will be closing your eyes halfway and staring at your black mirror, okay, for a few seconds, and until I'm going to count down, probably from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then I'm going to go ahead and put it back in the deck. We'll shuffle it. And then I'm going to count to see if I get an odd number or an even number. The odd number is no. The even number is yes. But keep this in mind. Many of you who receive no may want that answer. Others will not. And then there's the yes, where some of you may not want the yes, but you got it. And some of you want the yes, okay? So keep that in mind, because it depends on what your circumstances are at that time and the energy that you're drawing in. This is why I want you to focus and scry on the black mirror. It has nothing to do with woo-woo. It's just a black mirror, and I call it a black mirror because your cell phone is a black mirror, by the way, in case you did not know. It's a black mirror. Okay, so that's what I'll be doing. And then once the wish is said, yes or no, then I'm going to go ahead and start with the feminine energy and put it in the center to represent the feminine energy, and then surrounded by cards so that a reading could be done. Okay? That's what's going to happen. And I'll tell you right now how many cards you probably will have. Not counting yours, the center. The first set will be just the feminine energy, and then the second set will be the masculine energy. So it will be like a part 1 and a part 2, because I don't know how long it will take, and I'm actually timing myself right now to make sure that there is an allowance and time. So to see where I have to cut off or shorten. So we'll see about that. But anyway, that's what's going to be happening. And this is a little Halloween-y treat for everyone. Hope you enjoy it. Remember, again, regarding polarities, you have negative and positive. I want to thank you guys for being here today. I love it. And again, if you missed anything, I'm wishing you a happy Halloween, okay? Be safe, all right? Love you guys. My little starseeds. And I call you starseeds because you've been here before. Yes, you have. Oh, yes, you have. All right. Thank you for being here. Namaste.